Hi, everyone. Welcome to Monday night. It's time for the Troubleshooters here at Dire Bear Venturing Company. So last week we didn't have a Troubleshooters. If you missed it, check out the VOD or it'll be uploaded to YouTube here shortly. It already is on YouTube, I have been told. So you can watch last week as I had Ed Greenwood, Tony Winslow-Brill, and Jenny Loveday all playing D&D with me. They had a great time. It was a lot of fun. There were no rails. There are never rails. We don't know what rails are, but it was a lot of fun. So you can go watch that. It was a blast, and so far I've heard people saying that they want part 2, and that is the players themselves, if I'm not mistaken, saying that they want to do part 2. So sometime in the near future, we do have a break coming up in a couple of episodes. Oh, how many episodes is that? 4. 4 episodes left in this season. So let's talk about that real quick. Just like get Vin Diesel, dude, if I could. Just like last time, we're going to take about a month off. That being said, next Monday night is July 5th. It is the day after Independence Day. However, we will have a show on that day. It is the United States. It's independence, but that's recognized by businesses, so they're closed. July 4th is actually on Sunday, so we will have a show next Monday night, just so everybody's aware. Gen Con coming up in September, which will be here before we know it. I will be there live. Find me. I'll be in Indianapolis. Come hang out with me. Give me a hug. Slap me upside the head. Whatever it is you like to do. I should really limit that because that's a very broad statement. But anyways, come find me and come play some games with me in Indianapolis live at Gen Con. Make sure you get your Fauci ouchie before you go, though. If you haven't been vaccinated, get so. Let's see. I have the virtual D&D weekend coming up next weekend. That would be the 9th, 10th, 11th. No cursing, says Raymond. Set the timer. In the words of Idris Elba. Restart the clock! So we will be running virtual D&D weekend next weekend, 7th, the 9th, 10th, and 11th. I do have my games going up. I don't think you can purchase those yet, but they should be going on sale either later this week or I'd hope later this week, because next week would be like way too late. Anyways, those coming up, and then in August I will be running the virtual D&D weekend again, and I think that's all the announcements. So let's talk about what we missed last time. They went into the woods, and out of the woods, and into the woods we go. Anyways, they went into the woods to find the Sibyl, this oracle of fate that would tell them what next steps they need to take and what corruption it is that is causing this issues with the forest itself in the New World. While they were exploring, they found this bowl, this basin made of rock with all these etched lines in it. After destroying a treant, they found a stranger who made themselves known. The stranger guided them, motioned them to follow along. And like the hapless, chaotic wrecks they are, they all went, yeah, you look safe. And so they followed this man further into the woods. Without much further ado, let's begin this episode of The Troubleshooters. So, party. This indigenous person is guiding you through the woods, through trails that you're sure that had you followed, you would not find them. Ren carefully walks behind you nervously. You can hear his hooved feet every once in a while clipping on the rocks as you are guided over stone and through trees and things. Eventually, you're taken to what appears to be a clearing. You can see the light, which is diffused through the leaves of the trees, are actually shining in a spot. A crops of trees or a copse of trees is circling this area. You can see them. There are 6 of them, and they seem to be evenly spaced as though they were intentionally placed in this one particular area. All of them old oak trees that reach high into the sky. Their branches, all except for the side of the grove that is open, seem to start the canopy in all directions out from the forest. You watch as the individual gets to the edge of this lighted area and takes a knee for a moment, paying reverence and respect before entering. You come to the edge and you watch as Ren nervously looks about and says, you're going to want to pay respect before you go into the area there.
Gage is going to get on his knees, put the new spear, the nameless spear, in front of him, and kind of like tap his head to the ground before he gets up. Stay there for a minute.
You watch as your guide turns and looks at you and just nods their head and motions you forward.
I'll follow suit.
Okay.
Bliss is just going to go down on her knees and look down and start praying softly to herself before looking up to make sure that their new friend is okay with that matter, and then move forward.
Okay. As Liz takes a knee and bows down, muttering a prayer, you stand and you watch your new friend nods their head and motions you forward. You said that Moonin does the same thing.
Follows suit, kneels to the ground, thanks the earth for safe travel.
Once again, your friend motions you forward.
I'll do the same. Kneeling down on one knee, one hand like flat on the ground, while the other lays kind of like over my chest, and just bow my head. There's no prayer that I give, but more or less like, I know I'll return to Earth once everything is said and done. So, kind of a idea of one and being in the same.
When you stand, the quiet figure that moves on buckskin boots looks at you and nods, but this time you see something a little different. You see the corner of the mouth turn up in a little bit of a smile. As each one of you passes through what almost appears to be a membrane of light, it's not. It's just like the light stops right there at the edge. As each one of you pushes through, you actually feel like the warmth. You feel the cold of the forest because, again, like I said, the shadowed area. You feel it peeling off of you, and the warmth of the sun beams down on you, and it like lifts your spirits for a moment. And you feel better than what you like. It's like exhaling when you didn't realize you were holding your breath, or shrugging off something that was heavy and you didn't realize you were holding on to it. And each of you finds calm. The figure motions one hand, telling you. You notice that Ren does not enter into this grove. He stays at the edge of the forest, sitting happily on a rock, munching on something, drinking from one of the many flasks at the side. You watch as your new friend exits from the other side of the grove. I would like for everybody to give me perception checks, please.
15.
Okay.
Mine is a 17, but my passive is an 18, so I don't know what you want to do with that.
Okay.
Dirty 20 with a passive of 22.
11, 19 passive.
All right.
I'm not
The
even going to
grow-
say my passive.
Isn't your passive like a 13?
Yes.
Called out.
It's exactly called out too. Ah.
You watch and you feel as though you don't see anything. Your body perceives a subtle change. There are no leaves here. There's just this grass, and it's not tall. It's a shortened grass. But you recognize that inside of this area, there are no sounds. You don't hear the sounds of life in the forest like you did before. There's just a quiet. As though watching someone drape a cloth or rise up from it, you watch as the grass rises. It drapes over the figure like a cloak or some sort of canopy. Their head moves out of the shoulder, and as it does, you can see a wizened face, tinged green and brown, as they rise to their full height, somewhere around 12 feet tall. Tower looking at you. They're lithe, their form is slender. The canopy and the cloak of grass, and the grass turns into a robe. Their hands form out, and you can see tawny-colored fingers. What?
We can swear now.
You watch as the figure comes to the full height. This green grassy robe, these tawny colored fingers, the face is tawny and green. The hair is long and it falls down and it's a dark brown color. They look down at you, and for like the first time they've ever taken a breath, there's this soft moan when they breathe out. The mouth opens, but no words come out, but yet you understand and hear everything perfectly within your mind. You are not a part of this world. You are from another place. Why do you come seeking my counsel? What do you hope to find?
We were hoping that perhaps we could help each other.
The figure bends almost perfectly at the waist to bring their face close to yours. This massive ovoid shape. Like, right. Oh, can we help each other?
I There's a corruption that spreads across your land. Just like there's one that spreads across ours.
Rises all the way up to its full height again. These lands are troubled indeed. How is it you propose to help us?
There's a creature in your woods. Perhaps we could help dispatch it.
The spirits of the angry ones, the lost, the destitute, the hungry. They serve their purpose. But yes, these are not those spirits. Something troubles and stirs, and we know not why they seek what they seek, but they corrupt with their touch. You would rid us of them all. And what do you propose in exchange for your service?
Shelby actually needs help with this. Because even though I caught up on the last one, my memory and attention span are that of a goldfish. So I know we need help with Peter. Peter Diedrich. But I'm sorry.
Yeah, Shelby is also unsure of what we're supposed to be doing because I missed the first episode of like us being in America, basically. So I'm not entirely sure what we're looking for, but I know that we're on an adventure and we're here to see the seer, and apparently they're going to help us with something. So,
Looking for guidance on how to move forward, heading home.
So Liz would step forward and be like, "We know that you have angry spirits, but we are unsure of how to get back to our land, as you said, because we are not from here, and we are currently wanted back where we are from."
We were hoping you could perhaps assist in guiding us on a solution for problems across the ocean. That's what they call it, right? Ocean.
Once again, it bends down, this time the face going from one to the next to the next. Terrible things are in my woods, my home. Rid us of these things, and we will show you how best to return and find your way home safely.
Is there any advice that you can give us about the things that plague your woods?
If you do not find the source, we will never be rid of these things that are here. Our guide will help you. No harm will come to him. Do you have any other questions for us?
Liz looks at Moonin and making sure that he doesn't have anything else that he might want to say. She goes, "Not at the moment."
Is my family okay?
This gigantic hand reaches down, and it looks like it's just gonna wrap its hand around your head, but it gently cups your chin and tips you up. It bends down, and again, this face is just this, like, it's not discernible. But for a moment, you see a motherly compassion sort of wash over, and the face smiles. They are well. And you are loved. It stands once again. Do you have any further questions for us? It sweeps its arms around the grove, pointing opposite of the direction with which you came. Actually, not quite. It's like if you came directly west, it's in the northwest area. The trees are crying the hardest there. Find what makes them weep so. The hand comes back down. I will give you a gift. And you watch as, just as though it came, the robe shifts as though you're dropping a cloth across something, and the whole form just seems to descend. And after a scant few seconds, the entire grove, this little open area, is the same. It's this untouched, pristine spot. Across the way from where you stand, kind of in the middle, but in the direction with which the figure pointed, you see your ally. Your new ally, I should say. Leaning against a tree carefully, you see that he is, or that they are leaning on a curved piece of wood. It's something that you've all seen as he's just stringing a bow. He quickly whips it around. You see a quiver slung low across his back, easy to pull and fire. They look at you and say something, then motion.
Has it been the hour, or has it been past the hour? Okay.
Yeah, it's been past the hour.
All right, just making sure.
Yep.
So, Liz goes to where they motion. And in common, she says, "We will no longer be able to understand you. We all speak common, though, if that is something that you speak."
It is rough, but I speak it. I understand you.
Does Rin follow us over?
Ren does not. Ren looks at you and goes, I'll wait here.
Okay. Just making sure which NPCs we have to be keeping track of.
Making sure that the DM has only a few NPCs to keep track of.
Yes. And what
May
can
we
we
know
call
your
you?
name?
Tanuk. Tanuk. Tannuk. Tannuk. Tanuk.
Thank you for spelling that. My brain went turnip.
That's funny. Turnip.
We're in magical woods. I don't know, man.
All right.
Well, I'm Moonin.
You may call me Gesh.
Hi, Memris.
Liz just smiles and goes, I guess I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Liz, and if you want, we will follow you.
Mother said to give you something before we go. And you watch as the pouch that they have slung on their side, they open it up. There within you find they pull out 4. It looks like an acorn, but it's like the size of a small ball, like a golf ball sized acorn. When you look at it, you can see that it is not a natural thing. It's carved from wood. If you feel sick or otherwise, you can use that to help heal yourself. All right. We should move. Night will be here before long.
And what does this fellow look like?
Long, dark hair, that's like down to about middle of the shoulders, pulled back in flat braid, two flat braids that fall down. They have a buckskin jerkin and pants along with boots. You can see that they've got an adornment around their neck. It looks like it's made from some sort of metal, but you're not sure what without closer examination. But hanging on it, it looks like a pendant made from a piece of bone that's been carved to look like the talon of some sort of bird, and it's gripping a green and white, like marbleized stone in it.
Okay. Sure. Lead the way.
If you get lost, call out and I'll find you. Stay fast and stay close.
Okay.
And you watch as Tunnock disappears into the underbrush, quickly moving through there. You guys are survival check. You're gonna have to make this on your own unless you're somebody's proficient in it.
I am proficient in this.
All right, so I'll let you guys do. Who wants to do the survival check? I will let one of you do it because you guys have it. The other one can give the assist or the help action, so you have advantage on that roll. What's your survival plus?
It is a +8, and I rolled a 16, so 24.
All right.
And I rolled a 12, 7, 19 for assistance.
Well, you just
Wait, that's
give
not a
the-
thing.
yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
That's okay. You just give advantage. Even though that Tunnock is moving rather fast through the underbrush, you see that you have no problem keeping up. The woods, although not a wood elf, not one of your woodland brethren or siblings, you still are naturally accustomed to this. And so you quickly watch as they dart in and out of the woods, sliding over rocks and like sliding down the other side. But you're able to keep up. But you realize that he's moving with an incredible amount of speed. Are you going to try to keep pace, or do you want to just let him move and then just try to keep track of where he's going?
Liz would want to keep pace, but I don't know how the other party members would feel. But Liz would want to try to keep pace.
I'd try
For
to
as
keep
long
pace.
as we can.
Okay,
Seems like fun.
keep in mind that this is almost like a forced march. So this could lead to complications, just so you're all aware. Okay.
I'd do it for a little bit just because this feels like fun.
Then what I would like for you to do is, if you are keeping pace, give me Constitution saving throws, everyone. You should all be so good at those as I watch Vixen's head roll back in laughter. Because you did wonderfully, didn't you?
No, it bounced off my keyboard, so it wasn't a full roll, but it's a 2 plus whatever my con save is, which is a 3, so it's a total of 5. But it did roll off my keyboard, though.
14.
14.
24.
24.
19.
Okay.
Look at you go, Emrys.
Look at Emrys being a champion out there in the woods.
I do have a +4 in Constitution saving throw.
I
Nice.
am Grace. I am speed.
Speed.
I am tiny but mighty. Listen.
Oh, look at that art and imitating life. All right. While your ally seems to drag behind because the rest of you are doing well enough, and no, this isn't going to be a group thing because your individual constitutions are yours. Everybody is okay with the exception of Liz, who suffers 1 level of exhaustion from trying to keep pace with this person. I need another survival check, please. You gotta give advantage again?
I'll help.
I rolled a 18 plus 8, so
26. Yeah. Even though you would roll that skill check with disadvantage because of your exhaustion, which would be a normal roll because someone's giving you help for the assist.
Cool, because my first roll was the 18. My second roll was a nat 1. So we're going to go with the first one. So
I'll allow that for now. So you actually are able to keep up with it. Now you watch as he comes to, you hear the sound of rushing water yet again. He stops over the precipice of a fall leading into a river far below. Across the way, you see the bank. It's only probably maybe 40 feet across. It's too far for you to jump. And he's standing there and he looks at you and he says, "Are you okay? You're not tired?"
Not terribly.
I feel all right.
I have a question. Because I am tired, can I cast Lesser Restoration on myself and will that affect me? Or is that just blinded, deaf, and paralyzed or poison, not exhaustion?
Exhaustion's the higher one, isn't it?
Yeah, Lesser Restoration. I think Greater Resto is the one you want for that. Wait, condition afflicting it. Hold on. I might let it happen, but we'll see.
Either way, she either casts that on herself to get rid of the exhaustion, or she speaks up and says, it has been a long time since I have marched. Because it's probably been a year or so.
Yeah, it's Greater Resto specifically says you can reduce the target's exhaustion level by 1, but not in Lesser Restoration. So unfortunately, Lesser Restoration doesn't have the oomph to do what you want to do with it.
On the bright side, we have received a party boon.
Thank you.
Thank you. But anyway, so yeah, she's going to tell the person that she is feeling slightly exhausted, but she is currently okay.
Your party boon. You're next to Nat 1. Whenever that comes up, you can re-roll it.
Okay.
And it automatically becomes a 10. If it's underneath, if it's a 9 or below, it automatically becomes a 10 plus whatever you rolled.
Ooh.
Okay. Big boon. If you roll
I'll
a nat
take it.
one, re-roll it, it automatically becomes, if it's 9 or below, with 10 plus whatever you rolled. But you can't add your modifier to that. It's just that. Alright, that being said. He says, he looks at you and says, well, we have to get across the river. And he kind of puts his hands together, and you watch as he cups them in a certain way and blows. And it makes this hollow sound. And you watch as a familiar looking magpie lands by. He starts to speak again in the language that you're not familiar with. You watch as the magpie tips its head. He nods, and you watch him reach into his pouch and pull out a small stone, polished to a gleam, and it seems to be black but mirrored at the same time. It's beautiful. And it picks up the stone in its beak and flaps away. He looks back at all of you and says, this would take just a moment. I would suggest you sit down, have a drink. It's not going to be enough for a short rest, but it will be enough that you can take a quick breather. Is there anything like in the next 10-15 minutes that you guys? See you, Raymond. Have a great 4th. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you next Monday, maybe.
Gage is actually going to send a prayer to Mars because he is both the god of agriculture and the wilds, as well as war. Those are like subdomains. So he's going to pray for guidance.
Mars replies with, dude, I don't know.
Probably,
fucking
but
weird.
you know.
Shit's fucking weird, yo.
Wolves or bears or woodpeckers. I don't know what the hell to do, fam.
As you are waiting, is there anything else? Again, like I said, you'll have about 10-15 minutes if there's any spells that take that time. If you want to cast any ritual spells or anything.
Emrys.
I don't think there's any ritual spells that she wants to cast, but she is going to also pray to the Norse gods of the hunt and to the nature.
Okay.
So that is what she's.
Moonin.
Emrys,
Moonin?
are you okay? You're kind of having a time in that tree.
You're not wrong. Mostly just trying to figure that out at the time, I guess. The last time I dealt with some form of magic, it was easier to kind of, I guess, say it out loud. And then things would happen, but didn't work out that way this time, thankfully.
Gage very subtly cuts eyes to you, Emrys. I did my homework. I watched the last episode. So, yeah, he just like cuts his eyes to you. Make sure that you know he's looking at you, but nobody else, and then like returns to what he was doing.
Yeah, I redeemed it myself.
I looked down and
That's
I
it.
was like, wait.
Thirsty.
Everybody needs to hydrate. Now I'm telling the audience, hydrate!
More water. If it ain't clear, you ain't doing good.
I don't know which one of you gay disasters needs to know this, but your iced coffee is not a substitute for water.
Listen,
Hydrate.
I finished that already. You can't say shit to me right now. I'm done.
Neatoid factoid that I learned, certain antidepressants, if anybody is on them, can actually cause dehydration faster. So in these hot months, make sure everybody's drinking plenty of water so they take care of themselves.
Also, if you're feeling a little bit peckish, drink lots of water.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Justin F. Wrong, for hydrating with us as well.
I made him go fill up his water before I popped in to stream stuff.
Good. We'll take care of ourselves. But you guys have to take care of yourselves. You have to come back and watch the show with us. Don't you do that little hand to me. When those borders open, you're in trouble, sir. You telling me Nancy wouldn't love to see me?
Oh, believe me, she's already brought it up. Listen, she's like, yeah, we're going to see Heat. And I'm like,
How?
I wish I could tell
Eventually.
you. Don't make me
Yeah,
bang your
eventually.
hand. Don't stop. I'm targeted. I'm being targeted. I'm feeling very attacked.
Good. You should. But in the most loving way. All right.
So,
After you've... Mhm.
who were you talking to in that tree? Because it wasn't any of us.
Mostly myself. A one-sided conversation, perhaps.
Do I believe them?
Do I need to roll a deception? Because I will.
Yep. And you need to roll an insight.
Okay, give me a second. Let me get this.
I want you not to say it out loud. I want each of you to message me independently with what you rolled.
Okay.
Let me.
May I also
I
roll
almost
an
missed the
insight?
slaughter this.
Gej isn't going to say anything one way or the other, but he has a little bit of insight knowledge. If
Yeah,
that's
same
okay
thing.
with you.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
fine with me. Same thing. Message me your roll.
Liz trusts trusts Emerus enough to be like, if there's something that, he wants her to know, they'll know it. And, at the same time, she trusts Moonin enough to be like, if we need to kill Emerus, we'll kill Emerus. We already killed Combe once, so,
Jesus
it's fine.
Christ.
You're gonna have to go through Gej if you want to kill Emerus, okay?
That escalated quickly.
Yes.
Okay. But
Liz just wakes up and chooses violence daily.
It's the Macrons.
I don't know what it is, but I'm like sweating all of a sudden. Fuck. Hold on. Oh, yeah, never mind.
Guys, did you roll?
Yes, I'm typing
Okay.
it out to you now.
All right, cool. Cool.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Liz is perfectly fine with zombie Emerus. It's fine. They'll be fine eventually.
What was that?
Zombie Empress.
While there is something like niggling at the back of your brain, what they say rings true.
For both of us.
For both of you.
A.
Not proficient in deception. Definitely not.
I'm definitely not proficient in insight.
Really?
Oh no,
not gonna
I'm
reveal.
100% proficient in insight.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no. I was like, I think you are, aren't you?
That
Alright.
was that was a roll.
I've
No,
got to
I'm-
say, it was a roll. And I will talk to you all about that later. No,
uh-oh.
nothing bad. Just
Oh, okay.
I'll share with you
How close
Later.
that came out to?
how close they were.
Okay.
And the reason why I worded it the way that I did.
Okay.
All right.
Well, you can tell us if something is going on. But you're acting weird, I just wanted to check in.
I mean, I wish I could say I wasn't normally strange, but
You
being
you were more strange than normal yesterday.
you know, there's a bit of weight on my shoulder now, and perhaps when it actively oh, what's the word I can use? Oh, I can't even think of the word that I want. Not when it becomes a problem, because I don't know. Okay.
Flares up.
No. Flares up. Sorry. That took my mind in a completely different opposite direction.
It's my arthritis.
My arthritis. You see, I got real bad knees. Climbing that tree fucked me. No,
You're
no,
gonna have to reach into my pocket on account of my arthritis.
Stop it. When it's actually something that perhaps becomes a Actually, you know what? Forget that sentence because I can't think of the word. When I think of the word, I'll come back to it, I promise, but I can't think of the word that I'm looking for. But right now, nothing is amiss.
For now, I'll take it as a sentence. I'll find out later.
Yes. I can't think of the word.
I also, once again, just give you it's a softer look. It's just a look that's like, if you don't want to tell anybody else, you have my ears. That's what it conveys as he once again goes back to probably like just maintaining his spear because he does that religiously anyway. But yeah, so
I would like for both of our clerics to roll a D100 for me, please.
Shaka. $62.
You know, I heard D100, but my brain instantly went D20. So when you said 62, I was like, excuse me?
Wow.
I'm so
One
sorry.
witchcraft.
I was like, that's a lot of 20s.
I rolled all my 20s.
94. 64. Sorry. Dice are hard.
60s are hot. Hey, puppy.
Okay. Your prayers were heard, but that's it. After a few moments, you watch as Tunuk stands up quickly, and you realize you are hearing a weird noise. This kind of like something big waving against the air and then stopping and then and all of a sudden a shadow falls across the cliffside. The shadow grows larger as whatever the creature is descends. You look up and you see gigantic feathers. Gigantic clawed, taloned feet.
I look
On
to
this-
our guide. Is he bothered by this? Because if not, I'm not going to move.
He does not seem to be bothered in the least. Beautiful plumage of purple and white. Reds fading into oranges, into yellows, fading into greens. Circle this gigantic bird as it lands gracefully on a part of the rock. This gargantuan bird looks and tips its head. You watch as it bows nobly to Tunuk. Tunuk bows back. and starts to speak in his natural tongue.
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
What?
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Rock does fall, but no one dies.
Sorry, I don't know that.
No, it's okay. That is what it is, though. You watch as he stands and the bird calls out. The sound is nearly piercing enough to like shake you to the core as it opens its gigantic beak and lets out not a cry of a bird, but almost like a roar. It is so deafeningly loud. You watch as he walks over, jumps onto the talons, and then motions all of you to follow. He wraps one arm around the leg. Hop up and hold on.
That sounds like a party.
If you fall, yell.
It will be entertaining until you stop.
Gej is gonna go to the opposite foot from him and do the same thing he does.
I doubt it would be entertaining. So, you all hop on, I assume?
Liz goes either to the front of this bird and asks if she can tie rope around, so it would be easier if she does fall. Or she looks at Chinook to see if he could pass that message along. Because even though she trusts herself, she also knows that she's not very strong and she is very tiny. So
You recognize that the platform, it's not like you're stepping precariously onto something. I mean, this is a big foot. But yes, you can lash yourself on there.
can lash without offending the bird is probably what she's trying to do. Or like letting the bird know that's what she's doing and she means no offense.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't bother the bird. This gigantic rock.
Liz ties herself to the bird and she has extra rope if anyone else feels like they wish to be tied to the bird rather than just trusting themselves to not fall off.
I'm scared of depths, not heights.
Not yet. New flaw. All right. With everybody secured, Tenuk shouts, and with the like mightiest of bows, you watch as the bird doesn't flap and take off. Instead, it leaps over into the ravine and then starts to flap its wings, pulling itself into the air. And now you can see what that great beating sound against the air was as the wings ascend and just beat. You're carried up above the canopy of green, broken here and there by rocks and hillocks. You watch as this thing starts to dive and like barnstorm the treetops as it's just sailing right over them, opening its wings, watching as parts of the tops of the trees are laid flat by the rushing of this gargantuan bird over it. The wind rushes in your face. Any words that you would hope to speak are immediately snatched away and carried off into the wind behind you. It beats against your face.
Liz looks more than a little green. So she does not do well. So she is just like, this is what we're doing, but like she is just more than a little green at this adventure.
When you're going this way, don't projectile that way, because it will go this way real quick.
Moonin is having a ball. Giant grin on his face.
So is
It's-
Gej.
It's the scene from The Mummy when they have Farad's character on the plane, and he's just He's just right on the plane. Ah! All right. You're not in the air for very long when you watch the wings spread open, catching wind, slowing this creature down. It kicks, it clutches the air with its feet, but you're not being knocked off. And it finally like lights in the top of this tree and then like slides down it. You watch as tree branches are snapped like twigs as it comes to the ground. Its form nestled in between these trees, some of them pushed beyond almost to the point of snapping. You jump off and you watch as Tanuk says something and makes motions with his hands, or with their hands, and the bird once again bows its head low, almost touching foreheads with the person.
I follow suit in the background and bow to the large bird.
It kind of looks around and then jumps into the air and flies away.
Liz was bowing, but she also just needed like a minute to just put her forehead to the ground and just be like, all right, we're fine. We're on the ground. We're fine.
she's like, no, this is totally in reverence.
I wonder if we can do that again. That was just fun.
was fun.
No.
Gej is my theme park buddy. Let's go.
Okay, in all seriousness, I haven't been to a theme park in years. I want to go.
Honestly.
Come visit me. We'll go to Disney.
Get right on that.
Wild Adventures used to be my jam. They filmed part of Zombieland in it.
Oh yeah.
And I can name all of the rides that are there, and it makes me super happy.
I saw it and I thought about making a trip out of it down to Beeham and going to the adventure park and to the water park as well.
Is that really the park it was filmed at?
Wild Adventures is actually in Valdosta, Georgia, or close
That's
to Valdosta.
not the one I was thinking of. What's the one that's it's wild I don't know, it's Alabama Adventure or something like that.
Well, I think they changed the name actually to Adventureland, but whenever I was younger, they called it Wild Adventures, and then they sold it, and the people who came and changed the name. But yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't know the one in Birmingham, so I can't answer that question for you. I've never.
That's dope. It's on 65 as you're heading down
I,
south.
however,
It's on the other side.
Did not know that there was one. I know there's a Six Flags on the way down, and I pass it every time I go down to visit my grandparents.
It's in Atlanta. There's a Six Flags in Atlanta.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But yeah, the one that comes by and is like spinning and then hits all the zombies, that's called the Rattler. Like a snake rattler.
Okay.
And they get stuck on the double shot.
Alabama Adventure is what it's called, and Splash Adventure. And those are the ones that are just outside of Birmingham.
Day trip.
Anyway, sorry.
The more you know.
Might be.
Anyways, right, back on track. You watch as Tanuk puts his hands on the ground and looks around. As you all look around, you see it now. There isn't a lot of green. The green that's here looks sickly, not healthy. The fir trees, the pines, the conifers are all, their needles are there, but they don't look vibrant. They look not brown because they're still attached, but they look sickly.
Subdued.
Exactly.
Pale.
Everything looks as though it were hurt. Tanuk stands and says, "It'll be night soon. We should probably find a place to stay." out of the way.
Lead the way. You know those lands better than we do.
He picks up his kit and seems to move through the forest once again, this time slower than what he did on the other side. And as you follow him further into the forest, we're going to take a quick break. Give us like 10 minutes. Yeah, that sounds about right. Say about 10 minutes, and then we will be back. Stay tuned. Make sure to broadcast out there that we are still live with this part of the forest. Part of the forest. Yep,
We are
that
part
too.
of the forest.
We are all forest now. So, anyways, we're still live with the Troubleshooters. We'll see you all back in 10 minutes. Welcome back, everyone.
Hello. Sorry.
About those TPS reports.
Is that a coffee there?
This is a coffee here.
Yeah.
This is also coffee, but mixed with alcohol.
Mine is not mixed with alcohol, but is a Kahlua coffee. Non-alcoholic.
Mine
Those
is
are really
water.
good.
Coffee. Cold.
That's what this is.
Tea! I have no
Tea!
tea.
I didn't make tea today. I didn't feel like
I haven't made tea in a while for Mondays. I should do that.
I miss the cups.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get more.
Yeah, did I tell you I made the gray stuff from Beauty and the Beast?
No.
No?
So, famously from the song from Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe us. Ask the dishes. It's Oreo, chocolate pudding, some other things. It's really good. It's really good. It's really super easy to make. And it's all about the serving, the plating of everything. Because it's the gray stuff, I plated it in my fine china teacups, and I had pastel chocolate, like 6-lit balls on there. I didn't have any silver or gray because I would have used, or not, silver or gold ones because I would have just used those. But I had them with pastel colors. Remind me later, and I'll post them in the server. You can see because they turned out really good. It was really delicious, easy dessert to make. So
Speaking of tea, though, I finally got teapots, and that makes me incredibly happy. Sorry.
Since you are nearby to me, and I will say this to you on camera, the Bed Bath & Beyond is closing.
Yeah,
All
I
their
saw
stuff
that.
is like
I've-
percentages off.
I have a gift card there that I need to use before it runs out.
They had a plain white teapot that was just traditional, perfect little big ball of a teapot.
It
So-
ain't it.
Good.
Anyway,
But-
sorry.
For now, we're in the woods. I've got coffee,
Into the woods.
and I've got water, and I've got coffee. I have this big giant Yeti tumbler, and I have a Yeti mug for my coffee, and I couldn't find it because it got placed up on the cabinet where all the rest of my like water glasses and all my other Yeti stuff is.
Mhm.
You're
And I
working
was
really hard for that afternoon.
looking for it all over the place because it holds a large coffee, a 12 ounce or more.
You're working really hard for that advert, Cap.
I am. I'm trying to get some support. Need some income. Your love and support. Tonight's episode brought to you by D&D Beyond and Yeti.
Question mark.
They just don't know it yet.
They don't know it yet. We're gonna get back to the game in a second, but one more thing. Speaking of like spontaneous sponsorship, does anybody watch the Game Theory, Food Theory, Movie Theory, or Film Theory? I mean, with Matt Pat. You know, he has the new one, Food Theory, and it's all about that. Traeger, who makes the wood fire pellet grills, sent him one because they saw a video about how to grill your hamburger, like which was better, charcoal or gas. And so Traeger sent him a grill saying, "Here, this is what's best."
The
I'm
weird
like,
networking that you can manage through the internet is bizarre sometimes.
So that's all I want to do is I want to get just popular enough that one, this is our job, and two, people will send me weird shit as like, hey,
I
we
mean,
saw
I
this
can
video
just
you
send
did.
you weird shit.
You sent
have,
me
like-
cookies.
I did.
You sent me cookies.
Those were some good cookies.
They were good cookies. They were shit.
They were sugar
They were the-
cookies shaped
They
like
were
little
the
shits.
shit. He sent me the shit. It was great.
The packaging said "You are the shit," and it was shit-shaped sugar cookies.
Mm-hmm.
I heard nothing but good things about that store, and I was just like, I gotta send these to Cap.
They were so good too. All right. Searching through the forest, trying to find a place to stay. I would like 4 survival check from the party, please. I will
From
give
all
you
of us?
advantage. Just one person from the party,
Okay.
and I will give you advantage on that roll. Remember, if it is you, you still suffer from exhaustion if you're doing it, so you're
I
going to have a
mean-
normal roll.
I'm okay at survival. I could give it a
Uh,
try.
Me, it's a 19. If anybody else wanted to roll something else, you could. It is still a 19 for me because I rolled an 11 and then placed 8.
Yeah,
What's your survivor
Mm,
modifier?
+8.
It's wisdom, and her
Oh, I
background.
thought you said you rolled an 11 and an 8, and I was like, 8? How did you get 19 with 8 plus your modifier? I was like, damn.
I may not be as good at survival, but I rolled an 18 plus 4.
I'm not even gonna try.
The rock formations in this area are tumbled as so. Looking around, you can see that some of them have been pushed up from the earth just through the movement of things, and have fallen over. One of them creating kind of a natural lean-to, enough for you to have your back against something solid, and only the open air choked out by a small or a narrow opening of probably about 8 feet tall by about 7 feet wide. I say narrow, you can, all of you move through there, but not side by side. But it's probably going to be about the best spot you can see. It's probably all said and done about 20 feet deep, but it's not a cave. It's just like how the rocks fell and broke. So that's probably going to be about the best that you can find without digging it out or without casting a spell. Tanuk looks at it and kind of nods and without even a further word, starts about setting up, like rolling out his spot to sleep.
You guys will sleep on the outside. Like, let everyone else be on the inside.
Okay, you're asleep
Oh.
at the edge of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And to kind of be a sentry.
Okay.
I think I'll
you would
join
also know
Gesh.
about something.
All right. You watch as Tanuk starts to go to work on stripping some boughs of trees and starts making, like, he takes two of them that are shorter and lays them down, and then you watch as he takes a few of them that are longer and lays them across so that he has, like, he's off the ground by just a little bit.
Can I help him?
Yeah,
Like, a little bit?
he seems to be having no issues. Like, he's
Yeah.
pretty quick at it.
I'm not good at this kind of thing, so even though like people probably think I am, I'm really not. It's more or less like a help him out in the way of kind of learning by watching, I guess.
Okay. He notices you're helping, and he starts to show you, like, what you want to look for, how you want to, like, stack them and things like that, so that you kind of get the idea of how to make this raised bed. He even goes on to tell you, like, if you had more time, you can take taller ones and sink them down and make notches and raise it even higher on a platform.
Okay.
He
Alright.
kind of looks around, and he's not wearing, like, much in the way of warm. It's not cold, but it's definitely, like, not hot either. But he doesn't seem to be wearing much in the way of, like, material. Like I said, he's wearing this, like, buckskin jacket or, thing. But you watch as he kind of looks around for a minute and then says, I don't think we should start a fire. I don't think it's going to be safe.
Right.
Something doesn't feel right here.
Does it seem like there are a lot of mosquitoes and other bugs around?
I mean, there are bugs, but it's not a lot of mosquitoes. Like,
Liz would also probably agree, as long as there was not a lot of, like, I know at this period in time we had not realized that mosquitoes are the, like, plagues of disease, but at the same time, being bit by things is not a very good thing. So she knows that smoke usually deters that. So as long as there's not much biting insects, she's going to agree with that. And she has packed warm clothes, and she has a, like, army blanket, and she's happy to pull that out if he needs it or they
no,
need
he
it.
doesn't. They seem to be fine. They're not like they seem at home in this element. If you mention something to Tanuk, they disappear for about maybe 20 minutes. They come back, and you can see that they have they're holding a bundle of plants and a strip of thin birch, birch bark, and is currently working this paste together, and then looks at you and, like, slathers it on the back of your neck without asking, just, like, rubs it across the back of your neck, keeps the bugs from biting, and then continues to, like, proceed to rub it on himself or themselves and rub it on the back of their neck and their face. And it smells slightly evergreen. Like, it smells woodsy.
Liz is instantly uncomfortable with somebody touching her, but she's like, it's fine, we're not going to hit him.
guy's just gonna smoke a cigarette and he's not gonna discard the paper. He's gonna like eat the paper once he's done. Because it's just paper. Fiber. Probably
Are
doesn't
you
work in
just
trenches.
are you just rolling your own?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing this whole time.
Yeah. By the way, they are fascinated at this. They're like looking and going, what is that?
It's pulled a cigarette. You need
It's-
offer.
It could be death, as Liz pipes up. Liz is like, it's a slow death, and just like continues like making camp for herself.
It's a plant called tobacco. You roll it, you smoke it. Probably no good for you, but he would still offer it in case you wanted to try it.
At the time that you had them, they are a lot different than what we recognize as a cigarette.
But yeah, tobacco came from the colonies, actually, didn't it?
Yeah, well, not it's not that. The tobacco part, I'm not that concerned about. Because Roanoke, remember, is one of the locations, so there's a good chance that it's there. But you're looking at basically, it's not a pipe tobacco because it's not the same, but you got to remember that it wasn't until the mass production that they really got added a lot of the extra chemicals and things that came with them. At that point in time, you're looking at dried. I mean,
Still breathing any kind of smoke into your lungs probably isn't
it's
the best
still
thing.
going to lead to lung cancer because that was actually discovered in the late 1920s by Germans, as a matter of fact. But yeah, it's like I said, it's a lot different than what we recognize as it. But regardless of, he looks at you and like he like takes it from you, and then like gives it like he smells it. He just kind of looks at you like they look at you trying to figure out how they're supposed to do this.
And he'd offer his hand out, and he would show him how he's supposed to take a drag off of his cigarette,
You would
and then he'd pass it back.
probably hold yours like this.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's just
Hiding
supposed to
the
hide that.
embers.
Hiding the embers from the enemy. Quick way to get your face shot off.
Yeah.
Aim for the glowing thing.
That's the target.
So takes it from you and kind of does that, and then just like and hands it.
He'd
Hands
take
it back to you.
Like a pat on the back.
No thanks.
It's a little rough. I'm sorry. Like I said, breathing in smoke can't be good for you. But
And you do this on purpose?
a friend of mine used to get onto me for it all the time. Told me it'd lead me to an early death. I told him digging trenches and fighting in a war would lead me to an early death as well, so it didn't really matter. Became a habit after that.
I love that entire sentence was accompanied with the pinky up drinking.
Sorry, that's look, okay, my hands do this naturally.
Oh no, I'm not giving you shit for it. It was well placed pinky. Just
So do you know why pinky up is a thing? I learned this just the other day. It's fascinating.
We
No,
have more fun
please.
facts for the day. Let's have
I
it.
love facts.
So the pinky up is because of syphilis, and usually you would put it underneath your like cup, but like syphilis caused the hands to like just automatically do that, and since most of the upper like nobility had syphilis, that's why it was that. Just like cod pieces are like protect from syphilis, and then they became fashion. So fun facts.
I don't have syphilis, y'all. My pinkies are just stupid.
I think he does that.
We don't. We didn't
I
think
broke
you
this
had
pinky, though.
syphilis.
I
It's
think he
just-
doesn't bend as well.
Like, this is
It's
my hands
good.
completely relaxed. It's stupid.
Maybe syphilis made it bend, so you were showing that you didn't have syphilis. I don't remember, but it has something to do with syphilis.
My hand just goes through here, or it does this. Because big hands, tiny little ring, which is funny because
That's why I went with a giant cup.
this tiny ring
This is my normal.
fits on my fingers. I have very skinny fingers for a dude. Anyways, we're off tangent again. Anyways.
I have to force my finger to come up. It's very uncomfortable.
Just palm your face. So, you guys tuck in for the night. Is there any spells or anything that anybody's casting or doing? What watches are we taking?
How long does
I'll
it
take a
take
Rolex.
to change a spell? Is it 10 minutes?
No, it's just
Or-
part of your like. As
I
part
know-
of like changing out spell preparation, it's just part of your rest. You just say, "Hey, I'm swapping these out."
Okay, so you can do that with a short rest, right?
No, only a long rest. It's part
Okay.
of your spell preparation. So for clerics, okay, so let's talk about spell preparation in regards to how it works with long rests. When you sit down for the evening, the way it was always been described, and I'm talking way back whenever I used to do this shit in second edition, staying up for 8 hours overnight and Fridays into Saturday morning playing D&D with my friends, you know, back when it wasn't cool. You prayed as part of your preparation, asking for these spells in particular. When you got finished, they were granted to you. If you use those spells throughout the day, awesome. If you didn't, it wasn't that you didn't use them, it's just you prayed for the same spells the next day. If you're a wizard, you studied and committed the hand motions and the words to memory for that day. If you didn't use them, you didn't just retain them and just wake up and go, you actually had to do it again each time you did a long rest. So that's the way that works.
Okay, so this is completely up to you, but reasonably going out into the woods in unfamiliar territory.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Alarm is a cleric spell, and I'm having issues with my spell list at the moment.
Alarm?
Yeah, is that one of them?
I'll look.
Alarm is not.
Alarm.
Oh, there's not.
Alarm.
Ranger, wizard, artificer.
Yeah, it's
powers.
So never mind on that. Like I usually have my laptop with me,
Yeah.
and I don't have that tonight, so I'm on my cell phone, and it's
I
not
got you.
not anything like I'm used to. So
Isn't there like
Yeah.
not tiny hut, but isn't there a dome of some sort that clerics get?
sanctuary.
But Sanctuary doesn't work like that. Sanctuary is you protect
No.
one person.
Maybe I'm thinking Twilight clerik because I got my brain isn't connecting. We'll continue. Sorry.
There is in Humblewood, there is something that's like that. The Twilight Cleric may be what you're thinking of, because I think they get something too.
Yeah,
It's like
I'm about to go look at my cleric and be like, what do you have?
that.
Because I think
I'm just gonna do a search on our sponsor, D&D Beyond.
why can't I view my fucking cleric?
Twilight Domain.
You're not letting me load my character sheet for my Twilight Cleric. That's why I'm like, excuse me? I think we do though.
Yeah, they get Lehman's tiny hut when they get
Yeah,
5th
fifth
level.
level. That's why I'm thinking of it. Yep. Sorry. Maybe my cleric specific spells.
You're good, Finn.
But you also have something called the Twilight Sanctuary.
Mhm.
Use a channel divinity to refresh your allies with soothing twilight. As an action, you present your holy symbol, and a sphere of twilight emanates from you. It's centered on you, has a 30-foot radius, and is filled with dim light. The sphere moves with you and lasts for 1 minute or until you are incapacitated or die. Whenever a creature, including you, ends its turn in the sphere, you can grant that creature one of the following benefits: temporary hit points. You also can end the effect on it, causing
I
it to
remember
be
using
charmed
that.
or frightened.
That
It's
was good.
handy. It's handy stuff. But
Cleric's
yeah.
Twilight's fun.
Also, there is the the Twilight Shroud enhances that, creating
it.
half cover while in the sphere of that. That's awesome. So, anyways, Lehman's
Sorry.
Tiny is Bard, Wizard, Sorcerer. Some others out there, obviously, like the Twilight Domain. But as far as like some sort of protection spell, no, not for camping.
Even if
so-
spells are cast, I'd love to do a watch at some point.
Yeah, I was gonna say Gej will probably take first watch if people are okay with that.
I'll follow up on
Liz
some.
only needs 4 hours for a long rest for her, so she's fine also taking watch because
Okay.
she's fine with just being like, all right, I took my 4 hours and now I'm good. So, but yeah, that's what she's doing is she's taking her 4 hours and then she will allow somebody to take first watch and then she will do second watcher.
Just make sure you guys get to where you can cast 7th level spells, so that way you can throw out Temple of the Gods as a cleric.
Yeah.
It takes you an hour to cast. It lasts for 24 hours, but you cause a temple to shimmer into existence on the ground that you can see within range.
I feel like the forest might not approve.
The temple must fit within an unoccupied cube of space up to 120 feet on each side. Understand, each side is 120 feet. That's a big ol' area.
So up to, does that mean theoretically you could make a 10 by 10 little just like hut?
Yeah, technically.
You could
But
make
up to 120 feet on each
just
side.
a 5 by 5 pillar. Just
It's just an obelisk.
Yep.
With Buddy Jesus on it.
It's all we could fit in this area, guys. I'm sorry.
Dogma be like.
Yeah, the interior. So I love this. There's a couple of them. There's another one that's like a sanctuary, not a sanctuary, but it builds a tower.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you keep casting it, like over, I think this one works the same way. The Temple of God.
It's what, a year, and then it's
I
permanent?
think it's a year. The temple is made from opaque. Yeah, casting the spell on the same spot every day for a year makes the effect permanent.
Does it cost material, like money components for this spell?
Yeah, but you ready for this? How much do you think?
Like logically speaking, it should be at least 1,000 gold, but it's probably less than that because you're asking the question.
I will say it's about
Significantly
50
less.
gold a cast.
That's a good. Yeah. No.
Less?
Verbal somatic material. The material is a holy symbol worth at least 5 gold pieces. And remember, it's not consumed in the casting.
So-
That's a really cheap temple.
That being said, you could just go and make temples over years. Just create them. Spend a year in a location and just create temples to your deity.
Sounds like a fun
Consume
time.
the hydration instead. So, all right. Who's taking first watch? Okay.
I'll take second afterwards, I guess.
Okay.
I'll take final watch.
Okay.
I mean, lists can happily take final watch as long.
Okay.
That one came through as parts and pieces, but we got the gist of it.
Liz takes final watch.
Okay, I guess I'll take third.
Just to go in comparison, you know, I told you that there's one. It's first of all, it's an 8th level conjuration spell for the wizard called Mighty Fortress. It requires a diamond worth at least 500 gold pieces, which the spell consumes.
That sounds
But-
about right.
Same thing if you cast it on the same spot once every 7 days for a year. Makes the fortress permanent. So, a little less, but
Still 52 times 500 if we're using.
So, just out of curiosity, if you buy like 50 gold diamond, if you intentionally pay 500 gold for it, does it become a 500 gold diamond that you can use for your spells? Or
that's
like,
a good question.
what does that mean? Can you do that? Can you cheat the system this way?
Can you say who values it? What if the cost of diamonds goes down? What if the economy in that particular area doesn't value diamonds worth all of a sudden you're trying to cast it in this place, but this diamond's worth half as much?
But what if you pay $500 or 500 gold coins for this shitty ass diamond? Does that fulfill the need of the spell? Is that a thing?
So what you're saying is, as an all-powerful level 20 character later on, you take over the diamond market, crash it, buy as many diamonds as you can, and then reflood the market to raise the prices again. Suddenly those diamonds are worth a whole lot more.
Anyway, semantics.
I just feel like this is a whole conversation that we should have as like a secondary show. I propose D&D, and then it's just us going. But wait a second. If
Can I
you can
use-
summon beast, conjure beast, right? You can conjure 8 CR 1/4 or less creatures. You can summon it as 60 feet from you. If I can fly on my broom 60 feet in the air, and then summon cows 60 feet above me, and let them rain down in a beefy hailstorm, how much damage does that do per cow?
Can I cast create water in somebody's lungs because it's technically a space?
It is not an open container.
A meteor, if you will, Cap.
Me.
A meteor. Inspiration for you, sir.
I already have it, but I'll take it. I still haven't used my last one.
Oh, inspirations.
Sorry, tangent. Bowling balls. Here we go, fellas.
Oh, that's it. If you cast animate object, could you animate the bowling ball and then harlot sword somebody?
If you cast Speak with Dead on furniture and Speak with plants at the same time, can you talk to the furniture?
Good question.
Why
I
would
propose.
you say something so controversial?
If you can do that, so going back to the conjuring the cows, if you have Spell Sniper, which doubles the range, could you then have cows raining down on somebody at 180 feet?
Allow it. Rule of cool. Rule of
I'm
cool.
glad that this conversation you and I had, Cap, has come back. I messaged Cap at one point upon stumbling across this information, and I was like, does this actually work? Is this a
Yes.
thing you could theoretically do?
And if that's the case, can I summon Woodland Being or conjure Woodland Being, where you can summon the spirit? Can I summon Velociraptors to fall at that height?
Velociraptors are technically considered small.
Mhm.
I think so.
That's fine.
I mean, small
cows.
things at a high velocity are still incredibly destructive.
That explains what happened to all the Aurochs and why we don't have Aurochs anymore.
Pocket raptors falling from the sky.
Can you
Anyway.
cast Reduce Enlarge on the entire creature, or can you specifically target something else? Like one part of a large creature. Like one leg. I just want to slow it down. I don't want to stop it completely. I just want to slow it down. What if
Just
you did that on his
reduce one of
shoes?
his legs.
Reduce their boots to make them uncomfortable to wear.
What a demon you are.
What even is this game we're playing anymore?
I don't know what's going on, but I'm here for it.
This is called hypothetical.
Roll for hypothetical. All right.
New show coming soon. Dire Bear
Yeah.
Hypotheticals.
What if?
You know what? We should have a show and just call it Rule of Cool, and that's all it is. It's just weird fucking scenarios that we can come up with that are cool to do.
That would be
Who
fun.
wants to be on the new show?
It sounds like a
Michael's stuff
blast.
is just stupid stuff, so let's do it.
I'm in for stupid stuff.
I'm the one that asked Maddie outright, can I create this wizard that has no damaging spells? And she's like, sure. And
I
then
fucking
proceeded
guess.
then proceeded to make sure that she goes, I regret that decision.
Is that why Orion is getting shit on Thursday?
You're welcome.
Hey, I'm here for it.
That's why you always make sure you talk to me in the background about what spells you're taking. I would be like, no. Do this instead. It'll be funny.
Our last level, she told me 30 minutes before session, oh, you leveled up, pick your spells. I haven't looked at anything yet. Crap. Panic spells.
If you can take, I think it's Mind Sliver.
I already have it.
Okay.
First cantrip I took.
Mind Sliver is so wonderful because of that 1d4 to
The
their
saving throws.
next saving throw,
Mhm.
because you hit them with Mind Sliver, then you cast Polymorph on them.
That works out.
And then when you get high enough level, power word kill. That made my
I would
microphone
rather
fall.
not.
Or you know, when
I
I
got
hit,
no
what is it,
example.
level 5?
Mhm.
Mind Sliver. Oh, what is it? I completely lost it. Where you can change their memory, modify memory.
Yes.
We're friends now.
No.
It-
Yep. We've
It's
been
e-
friends our entire life.
It's even more fun when you throw Portent into the mix. Modify memory. You rolled a 2. We're friends now.
Mm. Yes. What's when you play as a divination wizard and they're like, I made the save. Nah.
I
No, you
think you
rolled
missed.
a 12. You rolled a 12. All right, sorry. We are like way in the weeds here now. Sorry. So, what I'd like for you to do, who is keeping watch, give me a Constitution saving throw.
12 plus 3 is 15.
Okay. You fight back the urge to fall asleep. and make it successfully through your watch.
Rest. As he'd go over and
Nice.
very gently wake you up.
Grabs him by the shoulder and shakes him violently. Wake up, motherfucker!
Oh, it's your fucking turn!
Loud as shit in the middle of camp. Wake up!
5 more
I very
minutes.
gently wake you up.
Very gently. Emrys is already a light sleeper because of reasons, so
You
it
just
wouldn't
wake
take
up.
very long.
See Gedge's face like this close to
was like-
yours. Are you sleeping? God, not now.
Not anymore.
Not ever. Not ever
Shit.
again.
Fuck, is this what it
Just
was
that-
like sharing a room with you? Fuck.
This is just.
No.
I was watching you sleep.
Thanks!
Did you know that you talk in your sleep?
I mean,
Who's Amanda?
I don't know. You tell me.
No, it's just a very gentle like tap on your shoulder, kind of like to get your attention. Because at this point, I
Stroking your
know
hair.
that. At this point, I know you're a light sleeper. I'm not creepy.
I'm not creepy, I swear.
Says
Please get
you.
up. Please get up.
Yeah,
No. It wouldn't take very much to wake me. I'm a light sleeper.
probably Emrys, and then a very just light tap on the shoulder.
All right.
Are you sure you're okay? As you wake up fully.
I just
More
love the
conversation.
nervous laughter.
I mean, like,
Maybe.
uh, yes. At least for now.
I'll see Doc.
Or like an annoying bug, if anything.
Is that right?
If it becomes
know
an
what?
issue, I will come to you. It's fine. I promise.
And you know I won't judge you.
It helped the little one back there, so. No harm, no foul.
He'd nod.
Go
And
get
like I
some
said-
rest, Gish.
He'd offer a hand for you to stand up.
My nice, warm, sweaty hands now. Normally they're cold, but now it's just a little warm.
Don't like that at all.
Listen, I'm
Weird,
just
bro.
nervous. I could rub my hands and then shake people's hands now. It's good.
I, a nervous passenger.
All right. Now that you are up and keeping watch, I'd like for you to give me a Constitution saving throw.
15.
You also fight the urge to fall asleep.
It took a nap. I took a little power nap.
Give me a perception check.
21. 18
Be right
plus
back,
3.
y'all. The dog's asking to go outside.
Okay.
Yep.
21.
21.
You hear something
Hi, baby.
moving in the forest. It's large, but you can't seem to catch sight of it. But you know that something's moving in the woods.
Oh, good. Bless you. That was a sneeze, right? Bless you. Well, I do have a dagger of returning. But at the same time, if it's just, how close is it?
You're not familiar. You're not sure.
Okay.
It's a big open area. It could be 10 feet from you, but
Okay.
it could be a little further out.
Okay. And it's something that just, it doesn't sound like it's circling or going around us. If anything, it kind of just sounds, for the moment, that it's going by. Okay.
Yeah.
In case it's just a wild animal that is still living in the area, I'm not going to throw a dagger. The most I will do is I know Moonin is taking next watch. So I will pass along the information that I heard something in the distance. I'm not sure what it was, but it just seemed to go by. And bother checking it out. It's not like I'd see anything.
Okay.
And then it's just waking Moonin. And getting that information out and going back to sleep on that, like, probably real bad cot that I attempted to make.
I mean, it was all right. You didn't do too bad.
I
All
lay
right.
down on it, it breaks.
You lay down. It's like, oh, there's a knot right in your back.
Yeah. I'm just like, you
Okay.
know what? No, I'm just gonna leave it now.
It's not worth it. Okay. You wake up, Moonin.
Moonin,
All right.
it's your turn.
Constitution
morning.
saving throw.
I choose you. Also a 15.
While
Okay.
you do manage to stay awake, you do hear the sound of things moving through the forest now. They are not attempting to keep their quiet. You hear branches snapping here and there, things moving through.
I'm going to double check that even the odds and the rifle are loaded and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to quietly keep the rifle like across my torso, and if anything comes closer, we'll see what happens.
Give me a perception check.
That die's doing okay today. I'm gonna use my boon. Cause that was a 1. That was a 2.
So it's a 12.
That's a 12.
All right. You can't really make out where it's coming from, but it sounds close. Like disturbingly near you.
Mm-hmm.
You waking up your final ally?
I think Liz has
Yeah.
been up this whole time.
Well, she's been up for the last 2 hours. She was up through your watch, I should say.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give me a con save. Yep.
She has prayed to her god to be better at con saves, because apparently she needs it, and she changed out one of her spells to do better at con saves, but I don't remember what it is now. It's a second level spell.
Bears and
Enhance ability.
Enhance ability bears endurance.
Yes.
Back in my
she's
day,
going-
if you wanted bear's endurance, you had to memorize that, and you had to memorize fox's cunning, and eagle splendor, and owl's wisdom, and
each
just
one.
every single one of them.
So I rolled 2 d20s, and I would like to let you know that they're both 17 plus 3, so 20.
You do not fall asleep. Now, I would like for your perception is like a 20 crazy.
My passive perception is an 18.
Okay. You're looking, yes. I see a finger up.
We have received a party boon.
Another one.
Thank you, world.
I appreciate you all.
I will say this because it will be necessary. When you roll initiative, you have advantage on your initiative rolls. As you are looking into the woods because you hear the sound of something moving close, you see pinpoints of light set apart like a predator's eyes. You realize, looking at them, that it is not moonlight reflecting off of them, that they are glowing bits of fire. And there is not one set, but several.
He is going to try to simultaneously try to check to see if she is going to try to simultaneously look to see if they are undead with
They are not undead.
You're cutting out again, darling.
as
Sorry.
the
Eyes of the grave.
undead, which is just
I'm sorry. I know it's frustrating.
it's extremely frustrating because I have no idea why it's doing it. Can you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes.
No.
So, she would wake up Gej first because Gej took first watch, thinking that Gej would wake Emerus, and then she would wake Moonin up while also trying to determine if they are undead, the thing that are coming near her.
They are not undead.
They are.
She would relay this information and be ready to roll initiative.
All right.
And now my computer.
Just 1 second here. Okay. Go ahead and roll initiative for me, everyone.
And you said we had advantage, right?
That is correct.
18.
Someone has vacated.
Mm-hmm.
It's Vixen.
Yep.
16 for Gaj. Bye.
Okay. So Moonin had an 18.
Mhm.
You back with us, Vixen?
What did Emrys have?
22. 14. 14 plus 8. I have the what is it that gives me that alert?
Plus
Mhm.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so my initiative is a plus 8.
I could hit a plus 10 with that. Oh my goodness.
List's initiative is a 19.
Okay. Good deal.
That was not a bad roll at all.
Not a bad roll at all.
Alerting all of your allies to the imminent danger, you watch as several of the eyes peel away, disappearing into the darkness, with the exception of one pair. They bear down on the party as I rolled a 24 for my initiative. It bears down on the party with vengeance. You watch as the skull of a deer, its antlers poised up high, drapes of moss and other debris caught within them. The body is that of an emaciated man's torso that ends in deer legs, and they move with speed as they bound towards you. Long arms, emaciated, lean, muscly. You can see the tendons and things pop as it strikes out from the shadows almost. Its first attack is against the person that it saw. Hello, friend.
I think it's fantastic that my picture for Discord and whatnot is a windage don't.
Mm-hmm.
I love the beasties.
The first attack is going to be an 18.
Beats it. My armor class is an 18.
All right. And the second one's definitely going to hit because that was a 19 on the die. Give me 1 second here. Before I riggedy wreck your day, let me check something real quick. Nah, it's way worse. Okay. First attack's going to be 14 points of damage total. One second. I need to look at something real quick because this is going to make a big difference here. Nope. Okay. The second one is going to be 9 points of damage, so a total of 23 altogether. All right, that is his turn. Next up, Emerus.
And we can see him?
You can.
Perfect. Let's do
Before you do that, I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
yeah. Oh, this is probably gonna be bad. I believe in you. It's a nat 20, I say, as it's gonna be bad. I have a +0 to my modifier. That's why I was like, this is gonna
Okay.
suck.
Gotta
All
believe
right.
in us that believe in you.
You are okay. The sheer existence of this creature almost drives your mind to some sort of madness. However, you push it away, realizing that you're in a fight for your life after you watch it claw its way through your ally. You are immune to the effect for the next 24 hours.
Awesome.
Now,
Whew.
what are you gonna do?
Sorry. Okay. No. Okay, sorry. I was gonna see if I wanted to do some oogly moogly magic, but I think I'm just gonna, toss a dagger at it. See if I can,
Oogly, oogly, moogly, magic.
I don't know, I'm new to this. I don't know
like
what's
it.
happening.
No, I'm here for it.
Do I know how to count? 21. 14 plus 7.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna do it. And he's already went, so my,
Mm-hmm.
I know my sneak attack won't proc, so that's okay.
I mean, he's
8
next to an
damage.
ally,
Wait,
so your
7
sneak
damage.
attack.
Sorry?
Yeah, he's next to an ally, so your sneak
Oh.
attack would proc.
Oh! Oh,
He's-
yes, that's
he's
true!
right on top of her, so
Hey, I don't know, bro. It's been a hot second. I don't even know how many sneak attack dice I have. Sorry. Where
your
this...
level 6 is it 3d6?
Yeah, I'm not there. Technically 5th. 3d6.
Oh, that's right. 3d6 definitely.
7. 20.
20 damage total.
20 flat, yep.
Okay.
And then the dagger has that proc to come back, right?
Right. So you whip it out, and throw it.
Yep.
It strikes the creature, and then at the round, it reappears.
Yep. Perfect. Cool.
All right.
I don't want to lose that. New gifts. Okay, that's and then basically it's just kind of setting myself up a little farther.
All right.
I guess.
Lists.
So, if I am reading this correctly, I want to do Vampiric Touch, which is on a hit, it's going to take 3d6, and I'm going to regain half. And then you can concentrate up to a minute, and I can make the attack again on each of my turns as an action, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I have an inspiration, so if I don't like my first die roll, I can roll it again, correct?
And remember, right now, we still have because you haven't rolled a nat 1 since that came into place. If you roll a nat 1, you automatically re-roll it. Not that I'm cursing anyone with nat 1s.
Not a curse at the moment.
No, but I did use my my inspiration to do a my first roll was an 11 plus 8, which would have been 19, and I just wasn't sure if that was going to be good enough. So I did 18 plus 8, which is a 26, and Jesus Christ, if that doesn't hit it, then
No, I'm just kidding, that hits.
Rude.
that is 9 points of damage for the creature, and I gain back 4, right? Or 5?
4. And you said it's what type of damage? Necrotic? It's Vampiric Touch, right? Okay.
Necrotic. That is correct.
All right. Let us move on to the next. Is that your turn? All right.
It's going
Moonin.
to be my turn.
All right, Moonin. This creature from your nightmares, and I apologize. I need a wisdom saving throw from Liss.
I'm just gonna roll one because I'm assuming I need to do the
It
same.
would be your turn, yep, so you'll need to roll one as well.
Yep.
See.
Well, for Liss, it was a 7.
17 for Liss. You're fine.
16.
You're okay.
Okay. We will draw even the odds. And
Yeah, we will.
just to kind of gauge where we're at, we're going to take the -5 for sharpshooter.
Okay.
So 16.
Misses.
16 misses. We will try one more time. That one's better. That's an 18.
Misses.
Ooh. Okay. That's my go.
You fire once, and in this darkness, you watch as the gunfire just erupts, creating this light in the area. The bullet just rings off through there. You hear it crashing through trees. You fire again. Once again, the muzzle flash lighting up the area for an instant, and the shot just rings through the trees again. Remember, it's dark right now.
Should I have been making those at disadvantage?
But
That's okay, they definitely didn't hit. That was a 2 and a 4 on the die.
I don't know why I'm sneezing so much today.
Bless you.
Redeem to hydrate. All right. Gej, wisdom saving throw. Well, I assume that Moonin, you are done with your turn.
Yes. I'm gonna step away for 2 seconds, though.
Okay.
Um, 14, 7 plus 7.
You are okay.
Cool. So, how close am I to the creature?
You were just tucked at the edge of the camp, right? Or at the edge of this little thing. So I'm gonna say that Liz is probably right beside you or not too far from you. So let's say 10 feet from the thing.
Okay, so I'm going to move 5 feet close. Well, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians first.
Okay.
It won't matter until its turn begins, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
And I'm going to take that 5-foot step closer,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to use one of my bonus actions as a war priest to make a attack with my spear on it. And that is a 17 plus 5 equaling a 22.
That will hit.
Okay. And then it is a d8 plus 2, so 3 plus 2 damage.
So 5. You
Yes.
adding your strength in that?
That's my plus 1 and my strength.
Okay. So 5 damage?
5 damage total.
Okay. It seems to recoil from your spear. That is your turn.
That will be
All
my
right. You need a wisdom saving throw from me. Is that correct?
No, Spirit Guardians is maybe hold on. I propped it and then forgot to check and see if there was a save. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Well, for flavor text, it is 2 winter wolves because those are Fae. I'm pretty sure. None of my allies are in danger. Yes, they must make a wisdom saving throw. It's half damage on a failed save. If not, it's 3d8 radiant.
Okay. What's the DC? Doesn't matter. That's a 5.
Yeet.
How much damage am I taking?
Is it its turn?
It is.
Okay. 3d8, so let me get my d8. Oh, so 7 and 14. 14 radiant damage.
14 radiant damage. Ooh.
A 7, a
Okay.
3, and a 4.
All right. He has a taste for your blood.
Come at me, bitch.
Yes, you. With your finger on your nose.
Oh, yep.
18 again. But the bite misses. I saw you do this, so I'm going to wait.
Oh, no, it was just temporary hit points, and I forgot to roll them for the bear's endurance.
Cool.
So 9 points of damage, or 9 temporary hit points. So I don't know if that changes things.
So originally
or
you
if
took
you
20.
could-
Well, originally you took 23. You would have taken 14. And then healed back that 5. So you should only be down, what, 6? No, 9? You should only be down 9 points right now. Of your actual HP. Because if you'd have had the bear's endurance, which is 9 temp HP, that 9 would have been taken off the initial strike, making it 5 plus it was 23, so that leaves it at 14. So it was 23, and that leaves it to 14. And then you had healed yourself 5, so yeah, you're only down like 9 of your actual hit points right now. Well, right up until that strike, which causes you to take 15 slashing damage from that hit. And then he becomes incorporeal and seems to, you watch as his form becomes almost like a shade of itself. As he does, he backs up, taking, because as this he can take the disengage as part of his action, and he seems to leap back and almost disappear into the woods around you. Emrys, you're up next. What are you doing?
Uh, maybe I should have done this. Never mind. I will hold an action. And I will actually I will hold Eldritch Blast for the next time it makes an appearance.
Okay, so you're gonna hold out Eldritch Blast for the next time it appears,
Yep.
firing when it does. Okay, is that yours? Then we're gonna move to Liss. What are you gonna be doing? You don't know
So
where he
I
went.
can still
Don't know where.
see it, right?
No, he backed away, and when he backed away, he is no longer visible to you.
She is going to call out, "Come back here, you fucking coward!" and hold for if he comes into range of touch, she's going to try and cast Vampiric Touch again. But if he doesn't, she's going to do Toll the Dead. Whenever she can see him.
Okay. Okay. I can resolve that because you still have concentration on it. I got you. All right, I'll let that stand. And then Moonin.
Readying the pistol for when it comes into view.
Okay. Gej.
So, interestingly enough, magic weapon. Oh, never mind. Hold on. No, it just made a liar out of me because it wasn't there. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Gej is just simply going to prepare. Actually, he's going to cast Sanctuary on Liss because it seems to really like her.
Okay.
It's not a concentration spell. So then he is going to wait. If perhaps the creature is within 15 feet, then it has to make another will save. Whenever its turn rolls back around. But other than that, he is just ready and waiting.
From the back of the cave, there is a whispered voice, and the area immediately around you guys is lit up, and you watch as a small stone is cast out, illuminating the area. Other than that, Tanook is cowering in the back, trying to stay alive. That being said, it is my turn.
Yes, it is.
Makes the save. There is a heavy breathing on the back of your neck, Liss, or like on the side of you, as he appears to make a strike. Everybody had a held action. We'll start with the closest one, Vampiric Touch. Go for it. Roll to attack. Go ahead and roll your Eldritch Blast. Basically, everybody roll their damage.
Yeah.
Or roll their attacks.
So my question is, Eldritch Blast, it's telling me I have a total of 2 beams. Would I just use one in this instance?
No.
I can do both?
Both are the same.
It'd be both of them. Boom, boom.
The will save, the first will save would be for attacking Liss, and then a second one would be at the end of his turn, or its turn.
I thought the Spirit Guardians was at the beginning of his turn.
I think if it begins or ends. Let me fact check super quick.
Okay.
Also, its speed is halved in the area if it fails. The first time on a turn, it starts its turn there. Yeah. Never mind, it's just a start.
Okay.
Okay.
You started close enough. What's the DC again?
DC is 15.
Okay, so that's what he rolled on the die. So let's go ahead and resolve those attack rolls then. Liss, how did you do with your Vampiric Touch?
I did not do well. It is going to be a 13, which I doubt hits.
Misses.
So she's just like, yeah, and it's just like he dodges out of the way.
All right. Moonin?
That was a 24 to hit,
That'll hit.
and I rolled a 1 on my d4, so it does magic.
Ooh. What type of magic?
It does lightning damage.
Okay.
So it takes 2 points of lightning damage and 16 points of bullet.
So a total of 18.
Mhm.
And if my damage matters, it's a 8 radiant because it's still halved if he fails.
Or if he succeeds.
Yes, if he succeeds. I'm sorry.
So it was how much? So you rolled 8, so it's halved to 4. Okay, got it.
No. It was
16.
17.
Okay,
So halved round
halved
up.
to 8. Gotcha. All right, and then Eldritch Blasts.
One of them was a nat 20.
Okay.
One of them, actually, sorry, one is going to be a 16 to hit, which I don't know if that hits.
That misses.
No? Okay, so the nat 20 with a 26 hit.
Okay.
Okay. Does my sneak proc on that or no? No, it
That
has to be like a finesse
It has
weapon,
to be
right?
a weapon with finesse. Yep.
Correct. Okay, sorry. That was one thing I couldn't remember, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
That is
That'd be broken as hell.
Could you imagine? I'm just sitting here like, that's so many dice. Sorry. 14. 14 force. If I remember correctly.
All right.
Right?
Yeah, force damage. So you let loose with the Eldritch Blast at the same time. You watch as your ally go off all the magical, but the one thing that rings out is the sound of the pistol firing. Whenever it fires, instead of sounding like the regular gunfire that you're all used to, that sound, this one goes as it fires through. As it strikes the creature, it like wraps around and you watch as electricity rolls over its body for a second. It screeches in pain as it goes to attack. It rolled a 15 for the wisdom saving throw to attack Liz, so a total of a 17. So it gets to make its 2 attacks on her. The first one is going to be a miss with a 15. However, the second one is going to be a total of a 21. It misses with its claws, but you watch as the terrible mandible of this deer antler skull thing comes down and actually sinks its fangs and teeth into you. As you do so, or as it does so, that is not a D8. That is a D8. 19 piercing damage, and I need a Constitution saving throw.
This is the second time that I've rolled 2 dice and they've been the exact same number. They're both 8. So 8 plus 3 is
11.
Okay. So 19 piercing damage and an additional 8 necrotic damage. So a total of 27 points of damage.
I am now down.
Down. Excellent, yes. And now it howls, it screams, but it sounds like screaming wind through reeds or trees or over rock. It sounds like a pained sound. It stalks forward, moving closer to Gej, because you would be like the next one there. But it is Emerus's turn.
Okay. So, we'll throw. Wait. I forgot I like this spell because of an issue that we had on Thursday. All right. Is it like up on Gej now?
It's like, yeah, it's right.
Okay. Now I wonder, okay, this is just something like, this is a creature that is it Siemens kind of plant like in a way, quote unquote? Sorry. Okay, what I want to try and do, and if you can tell me no right away if it doesn't work, I'd like
No.
to come up behind. I start sobbing. I'd like to come up behind Gej. Okay. If I can reach my arms around him enough to a point where I am holding my hands like this in front of him, I would like to use Burning Hands. And it says I have to hold my hands and thumbs touching, fingers spread, like, in front of me. But I'm trying to do it, like, around
It's not
Gej.
like this. It's like this.
Okay. I was just
This
I don't. My
is
brain goes
burning
magical girl. I
hands.
apologize. I'd like to go
okay.
like around Gej, so I'm not hitting him. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, so here's the cool thing. Remember that you cannot end your turn in the same space as an ally,
Yeah.
correct? You can move forward, cast your spell,
And then
move
back out.
back.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, you're still within the threat of that creature. He will get an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay. Then I guess my other option is, what is that thing that I have as a rogue that allows me to
You-
not take that opportunity attack, or is that no?
Are you a swashbuckler?
No.
Oh, you have cunning action, which allows you to take a bonus action to do the disengage.
Yes.
So you could do that. Yeah.
Yes.
What I'm going to say is that instead of, I mean, I like the aesthetics of where you're at, so we'll let that
Yeah.
stand. I like where you're at
Give
with that.
me
I
a
like
hug.
the image that it
Giving
puts.
Gej a hug.
Give me a hug.
And then
Right,
there's just
it's like,
fire directly in front of him.
So there's just boom, fire.
Yeah.
All right.
Which Gej is
You need
okay
to-
with, the little pyromaniac that this motherfucker is.
You can't.
This is-
you
This
can't
is
feel
just what this is just me explaining why my hands are a little warm now.
The fire goes off, and he's like, "I'm so hard right now."
Stop
it.
Please.
No, make me.
Bad. Bad heat.
Okay.
I do need a dex save. But otherwise it's directly in front of him, 15-foot cone.
What's my DC on that?
You're gonna make it. It's a 14.
It's a 24.
Yeah. You still take half damage. So I'll take that at
Dope.
least.
Yes.
Okay. So 14 divided by 2.
What'd you roll total?
14.
Okay. It seems to, even though he is able to dodge the majority of it, it still seems to scorch him beyond what you would expect.
Yeah. Well, that's my only first level spell, so I can't do that again. But give Gej a quick pat on the chest and basically have at it. And
And then nope out. You just
Yeah,
feel a hand
good.
reach over, go, good job, and then back out.
That was my titty.
Death saving throw, Liz.
It's just a roll on the die, right?
Just a D20. Mm-hmm.
It's a 14.
That is one success. Welcome back, Dragon Magpie. They're fighting a Wendigo. Moonin, it is your turn. And it has downed one of their party members.
Oh. Okay, well, we are going to take 2 attacks and use a grit point apiece for advantage.
Let me know what you roll, Otter.
The dice or the total?
The dice.
A 14 and an 11, so 24 to hit?
And what's the 11 add up to?
Well, that was the advantage on the first one.
Yeah, he's rolling with advantage.
Oh, okay, my bad.
24 hits.
The second one's a 28 with advantage.
You're good.
Roll my d4 twice real quick. That's a 3. That's another 1. So 1 does elemental damage. It's going to do... Hold on. Let me pull up the gun.
Is that the 5th shot?
That is
2
5.
on your first. Okay, so 5.
2, 1, and 2. I have one more shot
Yep.
in the thing. Yep. Keeping track.
Remember, you have 2 more. Remember, it holds 7,
7.
not 6.
Hey. Okay.
Remember that whole. I think it holds 7. That's what I said. Because it's a model. It's a model
Hold
after
7 rounds
1911.
in the magazine. Cool. That is going to do thunder damage for 6 points.
Okay. Hang on. Got it.
3, 9, 13, 19 points of bullet.
Oh shit, math. 19 points a bullet is that much. Okay.
And we're gonna action surge. And do it again.
Wait, I gotta do
Again,
math again.
let me know your totals.
Okay.
Come on, brain, kick in. It's one less than that. So yeah, I had it right the first time. Jesus
Okay.
Christ. I was like, okay, it's if you do that, it's 20 points minus or add one back. So, all right, go for it.
So action
Real quick,
surge.
as you fire the gun,
Yeah.
the first time it rings out. The round sounds like a regular shot. The second time when you fire, there's no noise from the gun. You hear a rumbling, and then whenever the bullet hits the creature, it sounds like a thunderclap right where his shoulder is. But there's like, you know how you see lightning, but then you hear thunder a few seconds later. So you hear you see the muzzle flash,
And
but then you
there's a
don't hear the
retort.
sound. And then there's the sound of rumbling thunder as the creature's just rocked back by it.
Lovely. I'm going to use another grit point for advantage, and we'll take the
Right.
-5 on this one.
All right, going for the sharpshooter and everything.
Come
Let me know what you roll.
on, baby.
Let me know what you roll, Otter.
I don't think you can help me here, Gesh. That's a 30 to hit with a natural 20.
That's okay.
It definitely is.
Okay, roll my d4. You.
Please be a 1.
It is absolutely a 1. 4.
What type?
We're really feeling thunder and lightning today. We're back to lightning.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so doubling the lightning, he takes 6 lightning.
Okay.
And then 13, 26 bullet.
As you fire your round.
Sorry, 26 plus 15 because of the sharpshooter.
Okay. As you fire your round, it looks like a burst of electricity, like a little tiny ball lightning that flies through the air. When it strikes the creature, it snaps and crackles along his form. As you watch, though, a thin vapor trail, like thin little trail of smoke, rolls out, and you watch as the pinpoints of angry fire that blaze in its eyes wink out. It stands for a second, swaying, before it just topples down to its knees and then falls forward. As it does, there is another howl of wind, and you watch as the creature's remains are carried away as though they were nothing more than dust. Tanuk immediately rushes over to your fallen ally, pulls something out of it. It looks like a huckleberry or a rose hip. It's red and small. Pushes it into her mouth and makes her moves her mouth, and then massages her throat so she actually swallows physically. You regain 1 hit point.
And I regain a grit point because I got a 20.
You are also completely nourished, and you're good. Yes, he pushed a good berry into your mouth.
While he's doing that, I'm also going to cast Cure Wounds. Unless. Oh, that one was good. 14, 15, 16, 17, plus 4, I think. So, yeah, 14, 15, 16, 17, 21 HP you get from Gej. And honestly, probably would pump his last spell into you as well for level 3.
The wind continues to howl You realize that it is not the howl of the wind, but the cry of some angry creature. in the
Another 19 for
distance.
you, Liz.
You should be at full now.
I am not. I'm at 41 and my max 50 is 51, but it's close.
You
The
can do it.
howling continues and carries on. And you realize that while you may have taken care of one, you know this definitely isn't the end. Tanook looks around nervously. We should move quickly.
What the fuck was that?
I'll explain as we go. And as you guys start to pick your way through the fallen trees and the rubble, picking up his stone and leading the way, that's what we're going to call tonight's episode.
That got rough.
Yeah. And that was just one of them. I would like to thank everybody who was watching. I want to start off by saying I normally thank all of the players for all that they do, but I want to start off by thanking all of you guys for watching and being here with us. Regardless of what time you popped in to watch, I really appreciate having you here. It means a lot to me to have you guys interacting with us, redeeming those points and everything else like that. Continue to do so. If you have a following anywhere, even if it's just 2 people, share the love, spread the word that we're out here doing shows. I am happy to announce that we have in the future, very near future, 2 new shows that will be coming to Dire Bear Adventuring Company. We should, when it's all said and done, have a nearly full roster of shows. Monday night with the Troubleshooters, Tuesday night with World at War, Wednesday night with a new upcoming show run by JT. We have Thursday night with Knight's Ransom. Friday night we don't have anything yet. We'll talk. We do have Saturday night with Stolen Cities and Sunday a new show that's coming up with a brand new DM and new players that have not been on the screen with us yet. Thank you all so much. If you're interested in playing with us, joining us with anything, let us know. Thank you very much, Fantasy. We're glad to have you. Thank you very much for following along with us. Until next week, where we come down to the last 3 episodes, I want to thank Otter, Voodoo, Vixen, and Q for all of their being here. It's so glad, and we're happy to have good news that we'll be seeing more and more of Gej here lately, or in the upcoming future because of work schedule changes. So thank you all so much. Until next week, have a great night. Don't forget, we have a show tomorrow with Scion. They're playing Scion, which is the RPG system. The game itself is called A World at War. Come check out Jason and all that group. Have a great night next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
Big love.